In our relentless pursuit of success, we often navigate a world saturated with constant notifications, deadlines, and the unceasing demand for our attention. In the racket of our daily lives, amid the continual noise of demands, expectations, and the constant hum of a busy world, finding moments of peace can seem elusive. Yet, in the stillness of God's silence, there lies a profound serenity waiting to be discovered. It's in this continuous buzz that we may lose touch with our spiritual selves, forgetting to listen to the still, small voice of God amid the chaos. Picture this: a quiet room, a serene landscape, or a solitary moment where the clamor of the world fades away. It's in these moments of stillness that we often encounter God's presence most intimately. The Bible reminds us in Psalm 46:10, "Be still and know that I am God." There's a transformative power in embracing quietude, a sacred pause where we rise above the noise and find solace in God's silent company. The world bombards us with messages, opinions, and the constant buzz of activity. It's easy to get entangled in the chaos, feeling overwhelmed and disconnected. However, true peace isn't found in the absence of noise, but in the presence of God. It's a peace that surpasses understanding, a tranquility that dwells in the quiet corners of our souls. Consider the life of Jesus. In the midst of bustling crowds, pressing needs, and constant demands, he often withdrew to desolate places to pray. Luke 5:16. In those solitary moments, he found strength, clarity, and communion with the Father. Jesus teaches us the invaluable lesson that finding peace requires intentionally rising above the noise, seeking the quietude that fosters a deeper connection with God. Now let's reflect on our own lives. How often do we prioritize moments of silence and solitude in the rush of our daily routines? In the deliberate act of seeking God's silence, we open ourselves to a source of profound wisdom and rejuvenation. It's not about escaping the world, but rather creating a sacred space within it, where God's peace reigns supreme. In the silence of God, there is healing for the wounded heart, clarity for the confused mind, and strength for the weary soul. It's a sanctuary where burdens are lifted and perspectives are realigned. The Apostle Paul in Philippians 4:7 speaks of a peace that surpasses all understanding. This is the peace found in God's silence, a peace that transcends circumstances and brings serenity to the core of our being. Consider the story of Elijah, the prophet, who sought refuge in a cave on Mount Horeb. As he stood in the entrance, a great wind tore into the mountains. An earthquake shook the ground, and a fire blazed. Yet the Lord was not in any of these powerful manifestations. Instead, Elijah encountered God in a gentle whisper, 1 Kings 19:11-12. This narrative beautifully illustrates that God often speaks in the hushed tones of silence, reminding us to intentionally create space for quiet reflection. In the silence of God, we find not only peace but also clarity of purpose. The noise of the world can cloud our minds, making it challenging to discern God's guidance. When we rise above the clamor, we position ourselves to receive divine direction and insights. Isaiah 30:15 beautifully captures this sentiment, saying, "In quietness and trust is your strength." Moreover, God's silence doesn't imply an absence of his presence, but rather an invitation to deepen our trust in him. It's a call to rest in the assurance that he is in control, even when the world around us seems chaotic. As we rise above the noise, we enter a realm where faith is strengthened, and we learn to surrender our anxieties to the one who holds the universe in his hands. In the hustle of our daily lives, cultivating a habit of embracing God's silence becomes a transformative spiritual discipline. It's a deliberate choice to detach from the relentless noise, carve out moments of stillness, and attune our hearts to the rhythm of his grace. The psalmist encourages us with these words, "Be silent before the Lord and wait expectantly for him." Psalm 37:7. Imagine a world where individuals intentionally seek moments of silence, not as an escape, but as a pathway to encounter the divine. In this intentional pursuit of God's silence, we not only find peace for ourselves, but also become carriers of peace to a world in desperate need. Practically, incorporating moments of silence into our daily lives is a discipline worth cultivating. It could be through prayer, meditation, or simply stepping away from the clamor of technology. When we intentionally rise above the noise, we create an environment where God's still small voice becomes clearer. So, my friend, in the hustle of life, don't neglect the power of God's silence. Rise above the noise, find that quiet space where His peace resides, and let it permeate every aspect of your being. In the midst of chaos, be anchored in the tranquility of His presence. For it's in God's silence that we discover a peace that the world cannot give, a peace that transforms, sustains, and uplifts us beyond the temporal noise of this world. So, my friend, rise above the noise of life, venture into the quietude of God's presence, and discover the peace that surpasses all understanding. In the stillness, may you find strength, guidance, and an unwavering connection with the One who speaks in whispers and transforms the chaos into calm. By joining our community through subscribing, you play a crucial role in our mission to share the uplifting message of God and positively impact numerous lives. Be a part of this journey with us. Click that subscribe button and let's make a difference together. God bless you.